hello, and welcome to another exciting episode of the Lagos Youth Show on Lagos Television. And as usual, this is that exciting show where we bring you all of the gists, conversation, demonstration, energy, vibration, as it relates to the young people of Lagos State. Bringing all the gist from all the 5 divisions of Lagos State, including Ikeja, Ikorodu, Badagry, Lagos, Epe, and much, much more. We bring all of that energy to you on a one-stop show, and we make it as fun and educative as possible. I'm not doing this alone, but not to forget the name. It's Tosin. Ikuyiminu. Tosin.
Okay, so I feel like anytime you want to give the divisions, you want people to know about the divisions. Like, okay, we know we are everywhere. We're touching you people. We should pick it from, and maybe you do. We'll make it as rhymes. As rhyme now. Right. Like Ikeja, Badagry, Ikorodu, Lagos Island, and I feel like it will make it fun, right?
That would be fun. Maybe we'll create a music energy.
That was a day.
All right.
Anyways, we welcome you to the Lagos Youth Show here on Lagos Television, and I am Oluwatose Olajide. Welcome to the show. Those already gave you already.
Exactly.
He gave you. He told you what we do here on the Lagos Youth Show, and not forgetting that we are still celebrating.
Oh yes.
We are still celebrating. Woo! Yeah, we are still in our month.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are still in our month. Okay, so for you just watching and you don't know, or you feel like what month? It was this time last year that we started up the Lagos Youth Show. Yeah. So you're here with us. Thank you.
1 year on hair, 1 year on hair.
Yes.
Clock it.
See the way he feels. Like
Clock it.
Hey.
You can see me.
Don't say I'm not there. I'm not there. Anyways, don't worry. For the rest of this month, you will hear it. We will say it like you're gonna feel it.
Absolutely.
You will love it.
Absolutely.
You will
and
love
on today's episode, as usual, we have super interesting conversation we're going to be having. We have a guest that will be joining us. We really want to talk about youth structure and how has that affected our development as a state. I mean, it's going to be an exciting conversation.
Trust me.
Super insightful.
Okay.
You mind you need to stay with us.
Trust us.
And we keep the conversation.
I said trust me.
Trust
Trust us.
Trust us. All right, let's go on a quick break. We'll be right back.
Right back. Yes,
it's still the Lagos Youth Show, and like we promised, it's going to be an exciting conversation. On this episode, we are looking at a very interesting conversation as it relates to the youth structure in Lagos State. Of course, you know that in Lagos State, one of the fast-growing states in the country, is growing at a very, very fast pace because of the youth population and the youth dynamics we have. And this is particular because of the energy that young people bring to the table, as it shows in activism, social development, community development, entrepreneurship, and many other stratas, right? All of these significant contributions that the young people bring to the table is the reason why they need to be a priority in our young or youth institutions. Right with us in the studio, we're having a guest that's going to be, diving deeper into the topic as to youth structure, how we can leverage our youth structure and youth institutions for community development.
Of course, yes. Our guest today is the State Vice Chairman for Lagos East National Youth Council of Nigeria, Lagos State chapter, and is no other person than Abubakar Asoro. You're welcome. I see your smile.
He's blushing.
Thank you
Jay-Z
for
smile.
having me.
You're welcome.
It's nice to be here.
Good to have you on the
Yeah.
show.
Thank you.
And I hope you're doing well, shall we?
No,
We are trying our best.
Because you reached to ask us.
Do well, do well.
We are trying our best.
Yeah, well done.
Okay, so let's dive into the conversation. And I would like to put it this way. What are because when we talk about youth structure, a lot of people don't have that understanding. So I would like for you to lay that down a little bit. What does the idea, particularly in Lagos State, what does youth structure mean, and what are the major, or should I say priority or popular youth structures that we have in Lagos State?
Yeah, thank you so much. So basically, youth structures are different structures of youths that are driving change in the space, and basically they can also include NGOs, non-governmental organizations doing youth work. They can also include government, recognized body doing youth work. But the National Youth Policy and Lagos Youth Policy gave us a little guidance into some, gave us a little insight into some youth structures. Like I have said earlier, there are some non-governmental organizations that are also doing youth work. But basically, the National Youth Policy and the Lagos Youth Policy establish the National Youth Council of Nigeria as the umbrella body for all youth organizations in Lagos. So the National Youth Council has a kind of structure that we have the local branch, and then we have the VIO and the CBO. At the local branch level, we have CBO. At the state level, we have local branch and VIO. That's voluntary youth organizations.
So what is the CBO?
CBO is community-based organizations.
Okay.
So so at the state level, the VIO are the Girls Guide, Sheriff Guide, Man O' War, Boy Scout. We have about 54 of them that are affiliated to the Youth Council at the state level. Then we have 57 local branches across the 20 LG and 37 LCDAs in Lagos. So each of those LCDA now have what we call CBO, that's community-based organization. So this organization include, under this organization, we also have what we call clubs, So at that local level, it takes care of the both, what they call the organized youth and unorganized youth. Some people like to call them literate and illiterate youth. I don't like to use that category anyway. So at the local branch level, so that is why at some point people will say that we are looking at an organization that can capture both the lettered and unlettered youth, the streets and those that are on street. So, but the youth council structure already envisage and takes care of all that. So it means that the youth council structure engagement is like a bottom up process. Yes, it touches everybody, to the grassroots. So, but at the top of it, at the top of that structure, is the Ministry of Youth and Social Development, which provide a monitoring, which serves like a monitoring agency for some of those activities. Then the layer of it, we also have other youth bodies who have been established as by Ministry of Youth at some point, to also affect affect some of the government policies and all that. So one of it is the Lagos Youth Parliament, which mimics what's happening in the Lagos State Youth Parliament, Lagos House of Assembly, to groom young people into legislative culture, tradition, and attitude. Then another one that has been established by the ministry is what we call a Bile Youth. Basically, that structure, the aim of that structure is to, discover potential in young youth, young people who are just growing into youthhood, to, discover their potential, also initiate them into youth leadership, non-governmental activity, community development programs and all that, to groom them into that. And that's also another platform that is being used by the government to drive, youth-oriented programs. So basically these are major structures. But when you look at the the National Youth Policy, because the National Youth Council is the national body, it was conceived by the Federal Ministry of Youth through a legislative, idea and all that. So basically, at the national level, the Youth Council is the umbrella body for all youth activities. But different state ministries and all that have also tried to also, in addendum to that, to also come up with also different ideas of youth organization, and that is why in Lagos you have Ibile and Lagos Youth Parliament and all that.
Okay, so it seems you already have a way of giving me response to the question I want to ask.
Yeah.
Okay, so aside from that, okay, so for you to know the question, I wanted to ask you that these organizations, how have they impacted the youth? Now, fine, they are created for the youth, but how have they impacted the youth, one way or the other? Though you answered a little, but I'd like you to just buttress more on that.
Okay, like I said, for Youth Council, for example, what we do is basically to be like a middleman between the government and the youth. So majorly we focus in all areas of governance as it affects the youth. We do youth-oriented programs that have to do with empowerment, programs that have to do with advocacy, programs that have to do with capacity building, to the extent of economic empowerment also. For our economic empowerment programs, we partner in most cases the Ministry of Youth itself, Ministry of Wealth Creation, and even Lagos State Employment Trust Fund. Yes. So, and also that's for people who wants to own their businesses and all that. But for people who wants to be gainfully employed, we also collaborate with the you want to be employed with the government. We sometimes also collaborate with different government agencies to ensure that we lobby for opportunities. I don't want to use the word slots. We lobby for opportunities so that some of our youths can also gain access and be employed. We also because we are basically carrying a lot of burden as a middleman, we also ensure that we trickle down the policies or policy drive of any government that is in power. That's, for example, like the Teams of Plus agenda, which carries the youth. We ensure that some of the things that are listed in the youth policy, the Lagos State Youth Policy was recently, reviewed and it carries some of the goals that the Lagos State government, in line with the Teams of agenda of Mr. Governor, it's carried the goals that Team Plus is supposed to achieve. One of it is economic empowerment, environmental sustainability practices that is friendly to the youth, climate activities and advocacy friendly to the youth. Then so we work in line with most of these things, and also we also work in line with the SDG, free education. For example, part of some of our school free education drive, one of our local branch of recent, in Mota to be precise, embarked on a back to school program where they basically identify people in their community who are not children, pupils in their community who are not going to school.
Let me cut you.
Okay.
As you were speaking, I wanted to ask you, how do you make sure the people that actually need the opportunities, when you were mentioning different opportunities and aside this Imota back to school, like how do you identify people that the youth that really needs this opportunity?
Ensuring they get it.
And ensuring, that is why I'm saying that the structure is so fashioned in the way that we are very close to the people. We live with them. We wake up with them. So getting it, so we it is different from a system where, for example, you elect someone, the person is not living in the community. I'll give you an example of our local branch where we have CBO. That those CBO, for example, we have clubs that are affiliated. They live in the community. They see the pulse of young people, so they also do programs that are youth-oriented programs that are solving the problem of the immediate community. So that is why I talk about. I was talking about that immortal back to school problem for back to school initiative, for example. There were two intervention program that local branch did for. They did. That back to school program is one to ensure that people who are not in school are returned back to school. They provide them with school uniform, basically everything they needed to be returned to school, and they also have a system way to monitor them to ensure that they are still in school throughout the process of. So another one is because of prevalent issue of cultism in our society and all that. So some of our local branches too have now felt like you cannot just be doing advocacy against cultism all the time. They said that an idle and is the idle mind is the devil's workshop. So you cannot continue to do advocacy from today tomorrow and you don't get young people engaged. If you don't engage them, it's easy. Even if you do advocacy from today till tomorrow, it is easy for them to, get involved in these cultism activities.
Since they don't have something doing.
Since they don't have something doing. What that local branch did was to partner Lascota, this Lagos State Trades and Assistance Organization. Yes, they partnered them, signed an MOU with them that these people, we have identified them in the community, they don't have what they are doing, they just roam around and all that. Can you please train them for 6 months? Can you train them for 1 year, for 1.5 years? And that partnership is now working. We have about, I think they have about 30 of them, currently going through that.
In your community?
Yes, in that immortal community. One of our community, one of our local branches. That's just one. I'm just using that as an example of some of the things that we do at the Youth Council level.
Okay, so the conversation is getting more heated. Let's quickly go on a quick break. We'll be right back. The conversation continues. Yes. Welcome back to the Lagos Youth Show. And the conversation has been exciting with our chairman. Our chairman. But another thing, I like the fact that we've really talked a little bit more around the impact of what you guys are doing. One of the things I love particularly about the Youth Council, it's the structure, right? So you're not trying to enforce your reach. You're already in the place where the impact needs to be happening. But one of the things people say, particularly when they see people like you with this particular look, you'll be like, this guy is chopping money from one guy at the top, So, but I'm curious and I'm concerned because I've had 1 or 2 opportunities to interact with people in Youth Council, and I realized that there are challenges. So, what are the challenges you face in your line of work, and what are those things that people don't really say or see behind the scenes that goes into the kind of impact work that you do at the Youth Council?
Sincerely speaking, this question gladdens my heart because like you have said,
someone is asking.
Someone is asking. Yes. You see, one of the part of the responsibility that this rule bestowed on you is to have good relationship. Because for someone like me, for example, I believe in advocacy than activism. Although the 3 rules of struggle said that confrontation is the last option, right? So sometimes when confrontation is necessary, you do it. But I always believe strongly that it should be the last option, or probably if it cannot be on the table, because I believe that it is when you are not a good advocate, that is when you have reasons to say you want to do confrontation. So because of the responsibility that this position bestowed on us to have good relationship with these people, so people, when they see you with in a picture with governor, see you in picture with a senator, see you in picture with so they believe that you are already having a slice of the national cake. So that is why that is why when someone asks what are the challenges you are feeling, the challenges you are feeling, I feel elated because at least someone is ready to listen. Someone is ready to. So the fact is that, like, first and foremost, the Youth Council is a voluntary organization. It's a voluntary organization. Is an organization where you get to understand what we call voluntary service, where you get to understand what they call humanitarian service, where you get to understand the concept of humanity in itself. So as a comrade, as a member of the Youth Council, if it does not give you joy to pick money from your pocket to do advocacy, to do activity, if it does not give you joy to see smile on the face of the people without getting a dime or return from anywhere, you will easily get tired of being in the system. So it is a place where you have to understand the concept of volunteerism. In most cases, you will even write to stakeholders, you will not see one error. So sometimes you just have to, even pick from, from your pulse to make sure that you get things going. Done. Yes. It's just basically the spirit of service and understanding the concept of humanity that keeps you going. Any day you get funding. So for some of us, what some of us have decided to bring into the system now is to also position the Youth Council for grants. Yes, that is what some of us are now doing. We are making sure, and we are training our structure to begin to know how to perfect their documentation and position themselves for grants. Because if you want to rely, it is basically almost impossible to rely solely on the government. Because sometimes when you also go to them, they will tell you that you have this responsibility, you have that responsibility. Sometimes those responsibilities they say they have are even genuine. So even you yourself, you say that, you would think that, so, and you cannot fail. You must not fail in your own role and responsibility. You have to deliver. So that is why we are beginning to let our people see beyond funding that comes from the government. But the local state government is doing something that is very unique, and that some other states have to, imitate. For example, every year the Lagos State government gives grants to the Youth Council. It gives grants to all the VIOs that are registered with it. So at least that once in a year intervention goes a long way, to push the effect of their funding and financial cost. So basically, it's just volunteerism. But there is another beautiful side of it anyway. Sometimes when you become an advocate, or you volunteer in a particular area, sometimes you become an authority in that area as time goes on. And sometimes when opportunity comes, employment opportunity, even political opportunity, sometimes I cannot deny that. Even when political opportunity, because you have established yourself as an authority in that area, people find you as the most qualified person for that opportunity.
Fantastic.
It's such a good one. And I like the fact that you said your challenges, and you still mentioned some of the things that comes up possibly, like that you feel, okay, at least I still gain a little because I have worked, and when opportunity comes, I am here because I have done something. So it's good that on the long run, your one way or the other, your struggle is appreciated. Yes, one way or the other. So thank you for coming
so much
on the show.
Thank you for
It's good to have you, and we hope
We'll keep
when those what now? When eventually opportunity comes, let it land on my side. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you for having
coming.
me. Thank you for having me.
All right, let's go on this quick break. We'll be right back.
Yes, it's still the Lagos Youth Show. To sing. Youth structure in Lagos State.
But why did you
It's actually, but interestingly, I like I said, I like the structure that the Youth Council have. But one of the things, we are beginning to see is they partnering with other.
Okay, so I really do. I'm not gonna lie. I really do not know a lot of these things.
Okay.
And literally, I'm sure someone like me, there's someone like me at home watching as well.
Definitely.
And the person has, heard
Yes.
and know about the youth structure
Structures.
in Lagos State.
And particularly if you're a young person out there and you have that spirit of volunteering and service, I
Okay.
think some of the youth structures he mentioned, including the one, the activities they are doing at the Youth Council, particularly
Yeah.
at the Lagos State chapter, and also some of the other initiatives that the Lagos State Ministry of Youth and Social Development are deploying. You should check them out on social media
Yeah.
and follow through
And do your best.
join
Yeah,
the wave.
do your best.
you know,
Do your
make your
best
own
as a
impact.
youth.
All
Yes,
right?
do your best as a youth in Lagos State. All right, we're calling it a wrap. Yes,
Yeah.
we're calling it a wrap today on the Lagos Youth Show. Till we come your way some of the time, I am Oluwatosin Olajide.
And I am Tosin Ikuyimin. See you on the next one.